guys, and welcome back to another episode of Okay, I Said Too Much podcast. I am feeling great this week. I hope everyone is having a great January so far. I think we're well into the month. I can't believe next week is February. That's insane. This year is already going by so fast. So let's just jump right into the episode with our weekly update. I have been eating so healthy this January. I feel so good about myself. I'm really proud of myself. I am just riding a high. I'm trying to keep it going. Okay. But I will say one thing, eating healthy is always the easiest part for me. That's never a part of the process that I struggle with. I just cook myself food. I just cook vegetables. I just cook lean meats. That to me is so easy. It's the getting up and working out or working out after work, finding a workout I like. I don't experience runner's high. My body just doesn't work that way. I have had seasons of my life where I was really into the gym, really into it. Went every morning and I would lift weights, do sprints in the best shape of my life. And I still did not experience this phenomenon that y'all call runner's high. It was so bad. I've even talked to my OBGYN about it. So I'm hoping in 2024, I'm 30 now. I'm hoping my body has changed enough that I can experience runner's high and I can be one of God's favorites. So what else is going on? I have been taking these vitamins there's just good energy in my world, in my life right now. I'm making a lot of progress, content wise and feeling more comfortable with my content. I put up a TikTok and I was like, if everything is your niche, if you do a little bit of everything in your content, how do you push your content out? How do you get it out there? And we're mutuals on TikTok. He responded back to me. He works in social media and he was like, you just need a tagline, basically. And I will say one video I did do and I had a tagline for it. I got so many good comments about how they loved the beginning of the video. They just really enjoyed it. They also suffer with what my tagline was. It was what I eat in a day when I'm counting calories to lose weight, but also trying not to binge eat. That's what I said at the beginning. Everyone loved it. So I am trying to take his advice and be more interactive that way and just make my content super nice and presentable. I got a 3-pack of box tripod lights. They're so bright. I'll probably post reels and stuff on my Instagram and TikToks for this episode, and you'll see the lighting on there. It's insane, so bright. I love the lighting with them. I've only opened 2 and did a couple of recordings of videos with 2 of them, and it's so bright. I don't know, but I was thinking getting a third one. But it was a 3-pack for $40-something. So yeah, I did get a third one. And they're USB. They're not battery operated, which is, thank the fucking heavens. But yeah, so been really just working on that and focusing on that. I am going to admit something to you guys. I'm recording on Tuesday night. I upload on Wednesdays. That's just because the new editing program, if you have noticed, I have been doing really light, easy editing. I haven't been editing out as much authenticness of the podcast recently. There are some parts I record and I'm like, oh, that's gotta go. I gotta get that shit out of here. But for the most part, I've been trying to keep it a little bit more authentic, just to show a little bit more of my personality. I don't have to have production worthy podcast at this stage in the game. Okay. I'm not signed to podcast 1 yet. You can hear some breaths. You can hear a little rustle in the background. You can hear me stumble over my words. It's okay. The quality is there, but I don't have to. I'm trying to teach myself into 2024 that the reason I struggle with being consistent with the podcast is because I nitpick the podcast. So I am learning to work on that, and it's going to come time, but I'm enjoying it. I'm just having a good time. I got to take the pressure off myself. The last part of my weekly update is I want to recommend something to you guys, and it's a TV show. And I just recently finished the first season of it, and it is, y'all, this TV show could be Scandal one day. This could be Scandal. It has Scandal potential. No one tells Shonda Rhimes about it because she will turn this show into a mess if she gets a hold of it. But it's found on NBC, and I watch it on Peacock. I was about to be like, if y'all need the Peacock password, just ask me. But literally, strangers listen to this. Why am I just offering them a Peacock password? I was literally about to be like, y'all can have the password if you want it. That's wild. But yes, it is on Peacock. I don't know where else you can watch it if you want to watch it somewhere else, because I think all NBC shows go to Peacock. But it is so good. It is about, I can tell you this because you literally learn this in like the first 5 minutes of the episode. I'm not really spoiling anything for you. It's about a woman who was kidnapped when she was younger and then kidnaps her kidnapper as an adult. It's so wild. It's so crazy. And it on a huge cliffhanger for the season. So I'm excited. It was picked up for season 2 as well. So we're clear. We're golden. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump right into our trending topic. Have you guys seen those Facebook pages, the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook pages? And they're usually for a certain region. There's one for everywhere. I saw one for Nightdale. And if you're from North Carolina, Nightdale's not that big. So it's like literally for all over the place. They have them Raleigh, Fayetteville. This particular incident takes place in Chicago. So literally everywhere. And you wouldn't know what's crazy. The moderator for the Raleigh one started the one in Chicago and has started multiple different Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook pages like all over the world. Now, y'all, she's facing a lawsuit. Her and 27 others are facing a lawsuit. Some guy is now suing. He is suing for like defamation and privacy violation for these Facebook groups. So let me tell you a little bit about the Facebook groups. First, we can start with that and then we'll get into the lawsuit. These groups are for girls to, when they first started out, and if you've been on TikTok a while, you've seen maybe people talk about the switch that a lot of these Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups have taken, because they have taken a switch recently and gotten a little out of hand. They were for people who, like, if their boyfriends were cheating or if a guy was dangerous, like abusive, you could put it on this Facebook page to help other girls out. A lot of girls have found out about their cheating is through these pages. It's crazy. I saw a post the other day where this girl, she was from out of state, but her husband just up and left her and moved to Raleigh. And so she's posting it and was like, has anyone been talking to him? Like, he's on dating apps. It's crazy. Nowadays, it has gotten taken way out of proportion. Nowadays, I saw a post on here and this girl was basically asking for advice. I think the fact that they now let you ask for advice has taken it to this level. It's not really constructive anymore. But this girl was on the page and she was this guy that I've been talking to. How does she would have date night on Thursday, random day, but she was off all day. He was supposed to be off all day. This man is a manager restaurant, so he has an unpredictable schedule. She out later than she would have, that he would be able to go to dinner or hang out, because he had to switch his shifts around and ended up having to work that Thursday. He ended up telling her very late because he was busy at work. Like, it was a busy night. She was like, I don't even know how I feel anymore. There's a whole day off and I planned on spending it with him, and now he's not hanging out with me and he told me so late. What do you guys think? And there's all these girls backing her. Not all of them. There were a few that was like, he is a manager of a restaurant, baby. That schedule is so unpredictable. You guys haven't been talking that long. Why don't you just talk to him about it? And that's the thing. Girls now use the page. Like, they'll match with someone, have a good conversation for like 5 minutes, and then post them on the page and be like, does anyone know him? Does anyone have any tea? Girl, you can find out the tea about the man in the first 5 minutes of talking to somebody. Okay. And I get it. Safety is such a big thing in 2024 for women. In everyday life, like, women are not safe. Dating is not safe for women. So I understand these Facebook groups being created and being like an outlet for women to feel safer while dating. But I don't think every single interaction or every single match needs to be posted to these Facebook groups for them to be a positive thing. Like, some of you guys gotta have discernment. I think for 2024, for some of y'all, your word of the year should be discernment, because you should be able to make those thoughts, have those thoughts and processes for yourself. Like, I get it. These men be cheating. Nobody is more single than a married man. Shitty married man. But I get it. But you gotta have discernment. You gotta be able to, like, not have rose-colored glasses on, because if they're rose-colored glasses, you should still be able to see the red flags because roses are red. I don't know. Do I think the Facebook groups are like overkill now? Yes. Oh my God. People will put some dude's whole face and some wild ass messages he sent on like a dating app, which I get it. It's you're trying to warn like another woman for what this man's going to say. But if you had a little bit of discernment, you could be like, you know what, this isn't the man for me. I'm not sure to block him. But y'all be letting these men talk to y'all crazy on dating apps. Not I. That's why I haven't been on dating apps since September. So sometimes when I see some of the things people be posting on here, I'd be like, I don't know. I could understand what I'm trying to say. This creator, I'll be watching saying that all the time. She'd be like, long story long, I can see how a man could find out about the page and think it is defamation or think it is violating his privacy, because y'all be sharing everything before it even gets bad. Y'all be sharing it on this page, and I think that's not the point that those pages were made. So when it comes to the lawsuit, the man is asking for $75,000 in damages. There's 27 women named in the lawsuit from all over. I know the moderator for the Raleigh page is currently asking for GoFundMe donations to pay for a lawyer for all 27 women that are named in the lawsuit. The lawsuit's out of Chicago. He's claiming defamation and privacy violation, which I get, because there will be girls in there commenting on things that are like, oh, this is my coworker, he's a nice guy, I don't see why this is up here. I could see how it could become a problem, because it's like, if people like in that aspect of your life are seeing you on these pages. But you know what, I think it goes back to number one thing: don't be a shitty man. If you're not shitty, you're not going to end up on one of these pages. I guess it goes both ways, but I think sometimes now it's taken too far. Like, men are ending up on these pages for no good reason. Okay, I'm about to spill the tea for you guys. So this is someone I personally know was on this page, and that dude's a weird motherfucker. So I could understand why he's on that page. If I knew how to comment anonymously, I would have commented and been like, block that man right now. He is going to send you weird fucking pictures, make weird fucking comments. Like, he is a fucking weirdo. So when people like that end up on the Are We Dating the Same Guy page, I don't mind, because yes, he is a very weird man, and I can see how he can make other women very uncomfortable. It's something where if you're not comfortable in whatever sexuality you are choosing to be comfortable in, you can make women uncomfortable like that. So in that situation, if I knew how to comment anonymously, I would have been commenting up under it and been like, run for the hills, block that man, because he be doing some weird shit. I didn't know how to comment anonymously, so of course I didn't comment. So I can see how like they're good for that in that sense. But y'all, if you just matched with a man and you don't know him from fucking Adam, don't be posting that man's whole fucking face on a Facebook group with thousands and thousands of women in it. Yes, that man, if he finds out, is going to be fucking mad. Like, then, because look, say you post that man and it goes well, and then he finds out you posted him on one of those pages, what is going to happen there? And then two, if you're one of those women who be telling men that they're on these pages, you're a snake bitch, okay? Excuse my language. You a snake. How are you going to be like, y'all don't be girls, because the only way, I guess it's not the only way, because a man could just make a fake Facebook page and post as a woman and get on the page that way. But you would think you could tell as someone, like, there's moderators, they have to clear your profile first to, like, you can't just join it. You have to get let into the group. So I feel like it would be hard to just create a random fake page and get in, because you would look like you have a fake page. Like, fake pages are very obvious. So I could see how that would, I just feel like there's got to be ops in there. There's ops in there, and there are women ops, and that's crazy. If you're a woman op for a man, that's crazy. It's a man, okay? Especially if you know that man's shitty. That's wild to me. But yeah, so I think it's all moderators who are named in the lawsuit, and I think it's just like, because they're letting certain things be posted. Like, you have the power of what gets posted, so I can see how like it's the moderators being named in the lawsuit. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm on the page. I'll be dating though, so let's just go ahead and get right into our meat and potatoes of this week's episode. Y'all, for this week's episode, I really just wanted to talk to you guys because I have so many thoughts, and like for me, my podcast is a safe place. I don't be putting all my thoughts on TikTok. Like, when I see these videos and stuff happening on TikTok, I don't put my thoughts out there. I don't make videos because y'all not about to argue with me in my comments because I don't care. Like, I will post a video and leave because I don't care. I said my piece. You're not going to change my mind. So I feel like for me, the podcast is just a safer space that I can come to you guys, tell you what I've been thinking, and we can go from there. But let's start, first things first, this week with Random Man in Atlanta. If you're not on TikTok, you don't know Random Man in Atlanta, I'll try to explain it a little bit to you. Basically, this girl, her name's Morgan, she started making funny TikToks about being a single mom, a young single mom. I think she's only like 22 or 23 when she first started posting. And she used to call her baby daddy a random man in Atlanta. Turns out he was like way older than her. He has 6 baby mamas, 7 maybe, I don't know. And it's so crazy because he was like 30 years old living in student housing when she met. Girl, if the 30-year-old man is still living in student housing, yeah, he's trash. Okay, that's 1 + 1 = 2. She built her whole platform. This girl has hundreds of thousands of followers. She has a very lucrative platform. She's making money off her TikTok. She gets brand deals. She created her whole platform on the back of her baby daddy. If she didn't have a funny baby daddy story, her platform wouldn't be what it is. She got no platform outside of that. She's dragged this man from hell and back. People found him. There's text online where it's like, she's like, oh, you got your clout now because they found you, blase. Her daughter's first birthday was like a month ago, I think. He wasn't there. They live in Michigan now. He clearly lives in Atlanta. Cool. Sometime last week, she gets on the internet and she's like, random man from Atlanta is here, y'all. And she's like freaking out. She was naming all the stuff they did together. And of course, people are like trying to tell her, like, girl, don't fall for it because your baby daddy is always going to come back. Some people are like, it's tax season. He's just trying a slice of the pie for when you do taxes with Gigi, because that's what her baby's name is. People are just trying to tell her, girl, if this is what you're doing, because let me preface by saying she seemed really excited in that TikTok. She was like, I haven't been posting TikToks because I didn't want y'all to see him and be like, what the hell's going on? She was excited about this man being in town. And then when everyone was like, girl, don't do it, don't go back to your baby daddy, she was like, whoa, you guys are in my business, and I don't know why y'all feel so comfortable being in my business, which is crazy because you made your whole platform off of people being in your business, and now you're mad that this dude ain't shit. My whole platform, that's all my platform is about. And then when people be in your business and when people be asking you questions, you mad. I saw a live with her the other day, and she was like, does it bring y'all any type of happiness and joy when I answer questions about my baby daddy? What does that do for you guys when you ask me a question about me and him or about him and I answer it? Does that bring you joy? You would not be able to be sitting up in that apartment paying your bills and doing whatever you are doing, because she ain't got a job right now, if it wasn't for the people who was in your live asking you questions about your baby daddy. You're making money off of them asking you questions. You're making money off of all the views, all the comments, all the likes of people asking questions about your baby daddy. You got your platform off of people asking questions about your baby daddy. Why are you mad that people are asking you questions about your baby daddy? And it really bothered me. Like, I don't need to know everything. When the whole drama went down, when they found the dude, I just scrolled on all those videos. I don't care for this girl's content, but you cannot come at the masses about worrying about your relationship when the masses worrying about your relationship got you what you today. I don't know. That's all I gotta say. Let's keep it moving. So these are all, I think, mainly things. So if you're not, I will try to explain all of this to the best of my capabilities. But Tripod Target Guy, he is a guy. His name is Drew Wells. And he good looking. Like, that's a fine black man, okay? I'll give him that. He be doing I get so he look good, okay? He sets his tripod up in Target parking lots and like goes through Target. He does the whole like vlogging, spend the day with me, all that, okay? But he is like, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. He will pull into a Target, find a parking space, get out of the car, lock it, grab the tripod, set it up to walk in Target, go back out, grab the tripod, set it up, and then keep walking around Target. And he basically does that from his house to Target and then back to his house. So it got on Twitter, and once everything gets on Twitter, all the fun is sucked out of everything. And people were talking shit like, man, this dude's doing a lot. Like, it's just crazy. Because when you see it, you know those tasks that he's doing because he keeps moving the tripod is taking him a Target trip for him is probably like 4 or 5 hours. And a good chunk of that is not him shopping. 2 or 3 of them is just moving the tripod around. Because y'all can say what you want. I will say influencing and not working a 9 to 5, like just influencing is not hard. But what is hard is setting up tripods and like getting shots and like, making sure you're in frame. Like, he is very meticulous about his shots. They're all very smooth. He does his thing. That takes a lot of work. Imagine getting out. You got to go to a Target, find a parking spot, get out, set the tripod up, hoping no one takes that spot while you setting the tripod out. Then pull into the spot. Then you got to run back, get your tripod. I feel like, how am I not getting my phone and my tripod stolen? Because I got to leave it out in the parking lot while I'm into another parking spot. That don't make me feel safe, secure. Then you got to get the tripod, set it up again so you can walk into Target, walk back out of Target. That's 30 minutes right there. You ain't even gone into Target yet. So this is why I wanted to talk about this. Do we think this is a bit? And what I mean by a bit, it's like, he's not actually going to Target. That's not his actual, like, he sets aside a content day, does content like this, and then he might get a couple things just so he can have a bag when he's walking out. But that's not his actual Target trip. Because what I'm saying is, I don't know if he's relationship, dating, married. I don't know nothing about that. Okay, I know he has a daughter, but that's all I know. I don't know nothing else. If you're dating this man, do you now have to participate in the tripod shenanigans? Because that's what I can't comprehend. You can see, I can't even get a thought out. Say you're dating tripod Target guy, and he's like, okay, babe, I'm gonna let you out. You go set up the tripod, get the shot for me, and I'm pulling to the spot. How do you date tripod Target guy effectively? Because when I'm dating a man, I want to go everywhere with him. But if I was dating this man, I would be like, oh, you going to Target? Actually, I'm tired. I'm gonna stay at the house because I don't want to play tripod shenanigans with you. I don't want to play hide and go seek with a tripod. Like, that just sounds so insane. So does he have, okay, Friday, I'm gonna go make content and I'm gonna come home. I'm gonna get a few things because I gotta have a bag when I'm walking out, but it's just content, so I ain't gotta go as hard. I couldn't imagine spending my time with a man who does that. As a man, I couldn't imagine spending time with a woman who does that. But women openly talk about having content days, like, oh, I'm gonna take this day and make a bunch of content. Male influencers don't be talking about that. So are you making all the content on one day, or are you doing actual shopping trips? I don't know. I have questions, but hey, Drake shouted him out and did his own little thing, because I guess the one that blew up was the one that was to Drake's Virginia Beach. I want to know who that hand was who was cheersing the shot with Drake, because I didn't like that. But I'm so unserious. Hey, he got his Drake shout out. He has a $1,000 like deal with NFL now, so I mean, he's doing something right. I just want to know if he does content days, because as me looking at this fine black man, I'm like, damn, if you date a man like this, you are on tripod duty. And I don't want to be on tripod duty. I don't even think if I dated someone, I would make them tripod duty, because that is a lot of work. Like, I'm staring at my tripod now and my light set up, and this took a lot of work. Okay. But the next one, I put this on here to talk about, but it's just such, you gotta really be into TikTok to know what's going on with this. I guess this is a bigger creator, but we'll talk about it. Avery Woods did a ColourPop brand trip. Now, I'm going to start by saying this. Everyone who's talked about this on TikTok, nobody knows if this was a brand trip or she planned a girls trip and ColourPop sponsored it, because she also had other brands there. No one knows what this is. So I'm not going to go too hard on ColourPop, because I don't think ColourPop was in charge of who was invited. I'm just going to say this. There is a hypocrisy with this, because I feel like I don't seek out white friends. I have, my very close best friend is white, okay? But I have a mixed race of women I've always hung around different races of women. So it's just weird to me when people have no friends of people of color. There was one person of color on the trip. She's Indian. But I think the thing is, okay, so I have personally recently unfollowed Avery Woods. I like her content and it was nice to watch. But I just don't support how she puts her children on the internet the way she does it. And then she did a podcast episode with that girl who got flamed on the internet and basically dropped off the face of the earth because they pulled up her old tweets about her saying the N-word and saying crazy shit about black people. So, and then she interviewed her for her podcast. And I was just weird. Maybe you should interview a black woman. Not, but I don't know. I digress. So I think it's a combination of that. I think it's a combination of you had someone on your podcast who has said racist things in the past. And then you do this girls trip, Galentine's, Color Pop brand trip. And there's also no black or Latino women on this trip. And I just think it's weird when women, especially, okay, this is the thing. Because it wasn't like her close hometown friends. These were all other influencers, her mutuals. You have no mutuals of black women. Isn't that weird? I guess it tracks because like her husband's a cop. I think she has not said 1 ounce of anything about Palestine ever. Not. She just ignored stuff like that. Again, she had a lady on her podcast that's known for being racist and saying N-word. She also got married on a plantation and literally had nothing to say about that either. If you do all those things, you don't have friends of colors. I guess it makes sense, but it's just weird. I'm trying to tread lightly on this topic because you can be friends with who you want to be friends with, but it's you're never in the opportunity to be around black people. I don't know. That's why I wasn't going to talk about it because I'm not going to tell black women they have to have white friends. So I guess I can't really say too much, but it's just weird. Next topic. Influencers going back to 9-to-5s. I will say there's one like outlier to this. I think a lot of people in 2020 became TikTok influencers who had degrees, who had jobs, and then they quit their job and influencing just isn't as, I don't want to say lucrative, because a lot of them are still working their 9-to-5 and influencing and still posting TikToks. So they're probably still having brand deals. There's still an element of influencing still going on. But what I will say is it just wasn't enough. Like I saw a TikTok and this girl was like, I was just bored. Like I worked in the corporate world. I know what corporate world's all about. And then she was like, when influencers get on here and say it's like they're so busy and they're so hard, she was like, it's actually really easy. If you plan it out and like really like plan your day and stuff, it's easy. And I'm sure Michaela on TikTok has sponsorships backed up for days. So I guess, yeah, in that sense, it would be a little bit hard. But if you stay on top of things, if you're on top of things, if you have a routine, influencing is very easy. And I just needed something more challenging. So I went back to work. I think the whole 2020, 2021 created a group of influencers that was used to working and used to going to a 9-to-5. They were filming Day in My Life, Get Ready With Me, all these type of TikToks, and it's probably a little bit boring. Filming the same, spend the day with me, and spending the day just being inside, doing influencing stuff. So I could see how, yeah, it could be a little boring. I think on the other side of this, the influencers who have been on TikTok since they were in middle school, high school, like all that, you're not going to see the Jackie Anna's, Jackie Anna is way too big. I don't even know why I mentioned her, but like the Danielle Carolins, the Brooke Michios, the Kenzie Elizabeth, Aaliyah's Face, Kyra, like they've been doing it for so long. You're never going to see them go back to 9-to-5. You're just going to see them pivot to like maybe having a brand where they can have a constant stream of income. I think Brooke and Danielle, they do live shows now, so they're making revenue from tickets. They've focused and honed in on the podcast. So you're just going to see them pivot to do different things. You would never see them fully go back to 9-to-5 because they don't know 9-to-5 life at all to go back to it. People think way too into it. And I think people are like, influencing is dying. But I think a lot of people that like blew up in 2020 are like, okay, cool. Yeah, it was nice to not work for like a year and a half, but I could go back to work, also be making a salary, and then also still be making brand deals because I still have millions of followers on TikTok. I'm still going to make brand deals, have enough time for it all, and be set in 10 years. So, I don't know. I think with most things, people just look into it a little bit too much. My last one, because I'm already at like pretty deep into this and I'm going to say a lot for this next one. Love is Blind is coming back February 14th. If you don't know, Renee Pooch, I think that's her name, recently was just sued by Connect. That is the company that like produces Love is Blind. Netflix isn't suing her. I think what people forget about Love is Blind is made and produced by someone. Netflix is just the person who hosts the show. So Netflix is not suing her. It's just like the producing company, all this. Because she broke her NDA and said all these things. Like last year, they did not care. They said so much. And I was like, I made a TikTok. I was like, where are the NDAs? So she's getting sued for $4 million. So now she is countersuing, and I think her plan all along was to sue them because she is claiming that like the guy she was engaged to was homeless, jobless, a drug addict, dangerous, violent. She doesn't know how he passed the screening for Love is Blind. She was left alone with this man multiple times after telling the producers that she was not comfortable with being left alone with this man. It's just there's so many allegations. She has so many allegations around him, which is crazy. She was like, you're like the hotel they put you in. I was watching, I think I had mentioned this a couple podcast episodes ago when Love is Blind, the last season was still airing. Jessie Wu did an interview with all the black girls from this season of Love is Blind, and they were like, their hotel room key, because they go to hotel rooms after they're done filming, but they're basically filming for 18 hours a day. She was like, they literally you go in there, door locks behind you, and that's it. If you want to go outside, if you want to go down to the lobby, if you want to do anything, you got to call somebody. Someone has to escort you down. When you're filming, if you have to use the bathroom, they're like, no, we're going to wrap this up. And then you can go, we'll tell you when you go to the bathroom, we'll get bathroom breaks. And she was like, wrapping this up could be 2 more hours of filming. And they're not letting you go to the bathroom. She was like, your phone, this I think is the craziest part. The phone in the room only calls the front desk. They have no way to call 911 in case of any emergencies when they're in their room because they don't have their cell phones. And their room, I guess it's programmed a certain way because I think all hotel phones you can call 911 on, but they literally have special phones in their room where only they can call the front desk. But yeah, if you're in the room and you need anything, someone has to get it for you, tell you if you can get it, or escort you to go get it. You don't have a room key. I think not having a room key is so crazy. But you also don't have a cell phone. So it's like just a recipe for some dangerous shit to happen. And Jessie Wu recently did another episode on her YouTube, and she posed the question of, should we even still be watching Love is Blind? With all these allegations against the producers of Love is Blind, should we still be watching? Ethically, is it right for us to still be tuning in to Love is Blind for this next season that airs on February 14th? Knowing what we know, and I guess it's like innocent until proven guilty, but it's if multiple are saying the same thing, should we still be watching Love is Blind? Should there be other ramifications, and ramifications would be loss of views? So I don't know. It's like I have a moral dilemma right now with Love is Blind, and I hate that. But I've always had a moral dilemma with Love is Blind because of the cast. But the season looks so good. The cast looks very promising. There's a lot of older people on this cast. They did hear us when we said that. It's based in Charlotte this year. There's older people, like majority of the people in here is over the age 27. There's people well into their 30s. So it's like they did listen to us. There's also a very big mix of races, ethnicities, all that. So it's like they did listen to us. And you know what? It's crazy because it's, are you listening to us because you have all these lawsuits against you and we're like seeing forest for the trees, or are you actually going to try to be better all seasons throughout? Because I always thought it was weird when like people who were like 23, 24 were on Love is Blind. You got time, baby. You shouldn't even be worried about finding anybody. So my question is, are we still watching Love is Blind? Are we still entertaining the mess? Let me know, because I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should watch it or not. I sat out. There's 2 seasons I haven't seen because I was like, I just can't do it. But this season, all my old qualms with Love is Blind, they fixed. So I'm like, I should watch it. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. But that's it for the meat and potatoes of this episode. I just had to get off a couple things that were on my mind. But let's just go ahead and get into the song of the week. I have a very random song of the week, but I will say, like, This song I just discovered. The City Girls came out with a new album forever ago, but I don't know if their label hates them quality control, because there are some bangers on this album that should have been singles, that should have been pushed more. I just randomly decided to pop in, listen to the album, and I was like, whoa, these are good songs. Like this song that I'm about to tell you guys samples Drop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg. So amazing. It's called Work For It. It's by the City Girls. It's off their latest album. So freaking good. It gets me so hyped for the summertime. When I tell y'all I am so sick of the cold weather, especially when I heard this song, because I was like, I just need to be somewhere shaking ass on a yacht listening to this song. But I digress. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that is the song of the week, Work For It by the City Girls. That will always be on the Apple and Spotify playlist. You can just search ISTM podcast and the playlist will come right up. You can also search istm.podcast on Instagram and find our Instagram and follow us there. I post any updates about episodes, all that on there. Any links to the episode are on there too as well. And yeah, if you want to find me on my other socials, it's just my name. Just search my name and you will find me, I promise. But yeah, that is all for today, guys. I love you and I will see you next week.